Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Hey, my question is, and I know this has come up before, but it's been a while, should Coach Stefanski have played his starters more in the preseason to gain those valuable reps? Granted, there is risk of injury, but we had major issues early on last year, and it cost us. Those blow-in coverages were killer and lingered and had to adversely affect the secondary the rest of the year. Working out these details in the preseason is paramount against teams rather than practice. Still need practice, but you know what I'm saying. If you look at teams 10, 20, 30 or more years ago, starters were playing full halves of some preseason games, and yet there's one less game now. Should Stefanski rethink this for next season? Appreciate your comments. Bye now.
As always, appreciate all of the voicemails. Jeff, I think you got to look at it. You've gotten off to horrible starts to the last two seasons, and I get the risk of injury. You can't get off to the type of starts they have the last 2 years, though.
I'm not going to disagree with you, but, in the first couple of weeks of the season, the Browns started the same four secondary players they were starting the season before with the same defensive coordinator. So, I don't know necessarily what more because keep in mind the preseason reps, if you're going to play more preseason reps, most likely your opponent's not. So it's great that you can, maybe shut down a couple of guys who are going to probably be, substitute teachers in a couple of weeks, if that's the route you want to go. But the problem is it's just the money that's invested. Nobody cares about the preseason. Yes, they'll say cliche things like we'd like to get some cohesion, we'd like to work on this, we'd like to work on that. But nobody wants the risk of one of their premium talents that they're paying a lot of money to go down in August with an injury. It's a tough, triggery spot to be in. Plus the other thing, and to the caller, 20, 30 years ago, I mean, but also 20, 30 years ago, you'd go to high school football games, and if you saw 2 passes and a half, it would blow your mind. Now you got high school quarterbacks throwing for 3,000 yards in a season. So it's not like these guys aren't ready as far as that. And I mean, these athletes, it's not like in the old days, where, I drank for 3 months and then I got up, started working out, and then football started again. These guys, it is a 365-day-a-year business. They know they put that investment, they put that work in. I think a lot of it more, not necessarily the reps in the preseason, just making sure that you have your other ducks in a row is, well, do we have our 2-minute defense? We're up 13 with 1:54 to go. Are we going to go, cover 4 here like we should and make sure they go 8-9 yard pops as opposed to the first thing they do is go for 75 yards with the slowest wide receiver on their team?
Yeah. And, I argue that the Pro Bowl has run its course. I can't sit here and say, you should play these guys in preseason because preseason's just a little step above the Pro Bowl, I guess. All right.
Dave, real quick, in 2020, there are no preseason games and the Cleveland Browns went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can pick it away any way you want, but, I mean, we could sit here and go defense attorney, district attorney back and forth all day long and make a point either way. And these are great things you can do when maybe your season didn't go your way.
Yeah, no, I get it. Absolutely. You got to look for you got to find an answer somewhere to get it corrected without question.